let's fit the IsoAcoustics GAIA III to the Dynaudio Contour 30Is and see how we get on. Right, the Gaia III, or however you'd like to pronounce it. Isolation mount from IsoAcoustics. Said to expand your sound stage, do all the other beneficial things that isolation provides. Gorgeous looking things, quite weighty. These are the Gaia III, rated up to 32 kilograms, specific for you know, for all standing speakers and stand mount stands and stuff like that. But you don't want to exceed the 32 kilograms because of course it would make no sense. You're just going to collapse them and then you've got the same scenario that you would have had before. So you can spec them up to the 2 or the 1 or the Titans and stuff like that, which I quite like. It was quite well thought out. So I've specifically left these on their spikes. Usually I don't spike speakers to the floor on this. Is a mezzanine floor, so it just acts like a huge speaker diaphragm basically and booms away. But I've done it on purpose because I want to check out the sort of the maximum difference. Now I'm going to have to one-handed tilt these speakers back and do some dodgy stuff to get them fitted, but they do sell a trolley jack, an F1 trolley jack, which is way overkill for me. I still want one, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's get to it and see what we should do. 4 of them, of course, front and back. Thread adapters come in this box. You can get different adapters so that you can fit them to different speakers. There's plenty of different fitments in here, some fat ones, some thin ones, a few different speakers, or you can buy individual ones. So that fit? Yeah, that fits. So up we go again. Wind the adapter into the speaker, then wind the mount onto the thread. They want you to put the logo facing forward or facing forward and the rear one's facing backwards to control lateral movement. There must be something specific about the design of the mount. So that just so happens to have fitted perfectly facing forward. I don't imagine the next one will go so ideal, really. Now another way of doing this, if you aren't as nimble as your main man here, it's to lie the speaker down. So we'll do that one now in a completely different way. It's super basic stuff, this. You don't really need a lesson in this, but I may as well, because as you might have seen with my how I would always do it, which is just tilting it with one hand or lifting it up somehow and doing it like that. When you've got 3 feet on, it's quite possible if you've got a big speaker that it's just going to fall over. So luckily I managed to save it, but had I have not noticed that, not only would it have fallen, it would have hit a Contour 60 that's behind it and an Amphion Argon 3S, a Dynaudio stand 6. So there's about £20,000 worth of damage. So yeah, you'd have to be careful. So here's another way of doing it, and here's another box. You know, if you do buy these, which there'll be a link down below, you do need 2 boxes. They come in packs of 4, so 4 per speaker equals 2 units, you know. Packaging, veg box. Let's lie this speaker down and we'll change them over on the floor. that with 4 sort of straight fit ones, the Dynaudio ones are the larger fit of the bunch. You've still got another 8 potential threads in there for different speakers, and different knurled rings as well for adjusting tightness if you want to. Luckily these have got a rubber foot, so I can hand tighten these up. There's no huge problem there. There's a spanner section on this thread as well if you add a captive sort of hole. Yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. I can fully back this product now. I'm only 1 and a bit tracks in, to be fair. Everything that I expected from a well-engineered isolation product has happened. You know, the obvious sort of tightening in bass, or the shedding of the looseness of bass that's associated with being on a suspended floor, gone. Physical room vibration, so that is now not apparent at all, where it was very apparent when we coupled speakers to this floor, which we rarely do, but I did it intentionally with these to get, you know, the largest difference. Any sort of mid-range smear that you wouldn't really think was there is just gone. I'm listening to Smoke City's Underwater Love, quite a popular track, not known for its amazing recording, but many different noises, many different sound effects within that track. The areas around each individual sort of sound effect just seem to be larger. You know, they seem to have more space to play within, and they were more obvious within the sort of the musical picture. And that's all with me running the Gaia III on a 31 kilo speaker. What I'll probably do is I'll carry on listening to these, because there's obvious benefits that I've just discussed, and then maybe switch them up to the 2. Now, I would imagine the differences between the 2 are going to be extremely subtle, but if I'm running a 30 kilo speaker on a 32 kilo capable mount, and they want me outside of that 10%, then I'm a kilo overweight here. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Solid piece of kit. Like I say, no surprises from me. I fully expected it. They review really well. They're a very well regarded product, and I'm chuffed to be working with them. So yeah, IsoAcoustics. They're $199 per set. The Gaia 2 is $299, and the Gaia 1 is $499. It goes 3, 2, 1 in terms of its levels. 1 being the one that's capable of holding the heavier speaker out of those 3, and then you get the Titans above that. So, like I discussed earlier, you need 2 sets. So there's 4 in a box. Unless you've got a speaker that requires 2, then you're going to have to buy 2. The links are down below. We support them, we back them up. If you buy them from us, you try them and you don't like them, send them back. You know, we have a certain period where you can, you can send it back if you don't like it. So yeah, I imagine you will though, because if you're the type of person to be looking at such a product, there's obviously an issue there. I would see these. They're not a speaker fixer. I don't think you modify a speaker's performance with these products. They're an atmosphere corrector. You know, that they control things to do with the atmosphere that the speaker is in, rather than things that the speaker is doing. You know, by removing that coupled element to the floor, you're removing any of the imperfect mounting scenarios that come with a home with a suspended floor, a loft area that may have that certainly will have a suspended floor, or a mezzanine area like this. You know, homes with this sort of build are becoming more and more common now. So yeah, isolation is your best friend in that scenario. That's it. That's just a short video on IsoAcoustics. I wasn't even going to put in any of the fitting stuff, but it's good to see, isn't it? You know, you've got to get amongst it and get it done.
simple enough to do. 2 different ways to do it. I would probably pretty much always just do the speaker upright, but I wouldn't advise that other people do that. I'd say if you've got a soft area, lie the speaker down. It's just that I'm not a huge fan of lying speakers down. It just, the potential for damaging them just goes through the roof. So yeah, what I did find in the box that I didn't cover when I was discussing this was a little spanner. Yeah, I did mention the sort of the flatted edge on the threaded bar, which is obviously for a spanner to tighten up if you've got, say, a captive hole on the bottom of your speaker and you just want to make sure that it's at the dead stop, or if you wanted to use the spanner and then tighten the isolator against its fixed point, then yes, handy for that. So that is in the box, so you won't need a tool for that. I'm Carl, this is Studio In Car, it's a studio hi-fi video, and IsoAcoustics, get amongst it. Alright, take it easy guys.